Okay guys, so in today's video I want to show you how to create this title animation effect. This is a very simple Fusion animation. So without further ado, let's start. So first what you need to do is to go to Effects, Titles and grab Text Plus, place it in the timeline and in the inspector, sorry, I need to disable dynamic zoom view, and in the inspector just type your text, customize it some more, something like that. That will be title animation number 51. So if you're new on my channel, check out my other title animations. There are 50 of them already. I got also a full bundle pack of them. So yeah, hope you're gonna enjoy it. So as a first step, open Fusion page. If you don't see this navigation panel, tab V, this is very handy. Hopefully you know something about Fusion page. I'll try to go really slowly so that you're not confused if you're a beginner. So in Fusion page, you get a notes panel. Let me close effects, we don't need it right now. And you got two preview screens, right and left. This is screen number 2. If you select media out and tap 2, you can enable and disable it, and you can preview also on your first screen on the left by tapping 1. As you see, these little white dots show on which screen you are previewing the node. So let me leave the media out on my second preview screen.
Oh my god, I get it.
First, what I need to do is to grab a background node. Simple as that. And in the inspector, I will make it transparent. I can preview it on the left. As you see, we've made it transparent.
Are you serious?
Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disconnect my template node from my media out. So you can double click it once you see a blue line, and I will merge it over my background node. So just drag the output and release it over the output of the background node like that. A merge node will be created and connected back to media out. So basically nothing changed because we've only merged over our template over a transparent background. So the final result is the same. If it's too slow for you because you're more advanced, you can watch this tutorial in double speed or just fast forward the steps you already know.
Damn good deal.
Okay, now what we're gonna do is to select the template node, and this is basically the text plus, the same as you see in the edit page. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use follower modifiers. So right click in the text box and choose follower. That will enable my modifiers tab, so let me open it. Follower modifier is very powerful. I got a separate video when I explain more about it. But today let's focus only on how to create this exact title animation. So in the timing tab, what you need to change is the delay to 1 frame and leave delay time as it is, but change the order to random, but 1 by 1. Then go straight to the shading. If you want to learn more about shading tab, check out this tutorial. First, what I want to do is to go to frame number 5, so you can just type here 5. Your playhead will be automatically placed on frame 5. And in here, I want to keyframe the appearance control. So let me create my first keyframe here and switch it to border outline. Now go 1 frame farther, so make sure you're now on frame number 6. You can click somewhere in the notes panel and type arrow key. Or you can again input here the number of the frame. So at frame 6, I want to change it to border fill. Then at frame 7, I want to switch it to outline. And finally at frame 8, I want to switch it back to text fill. So let me play what you get so far. Now let me go back to Tools tab. And in the transform, I will keyframe the Y control. So now I will place my playhead at frame 0. So at the beginning of the animation, I will set Y control to 0. So as you see, the height is now 0.
0!
And I will create my first keyframe here. Then at frame 5, so exactly at the point in time where our follower is starting to animate the text, I will set it back to the default value, which is 1. So this is what we got so far. Okay. Now, before we move on, I will also smooth out this animation. So let me open Spline tool, and here I will select character size Y. I will click zoom to fit to actually see my animation, my first keyframe and last. I will select them both. You can tap somewhere here and Ctrl A to select both keyframes, and you can choose smooth, or you can type S on your keyboard. In my original effect, what I did, I right click here and I chose ease option in cubic. So that will behave like that. It's totally up to you how you want to animate it. Next, what I did was I've merged my template again over the background node. So as you see, we got another merge node, but before, and I did it again after my last merge node. So right now we got 3 instances of template, 3 copies of templates, or maybe these are not the copies, but we've merged over the background 3 times the template. So we don't see the difference because it's perfectly overlaying each other. But right now, what I will do is to insert additional node between my template and merge 2 and template and merge 3. So let me click somewhere, deselect the nodes, so none of the node is selected right now, and open selection tool, so shift space, that will open a select tool and search here for speed, time speed. Select it and click add. Now, if you hold shift and drag it over the connection. So once it's blue, you can release it and you got your additional node, additional effect connected between the 2 nodes. So what the time speed node is doing, you can basically change the speed of the animation. So what I will do here beneath of my original title animation, what I will do is slow it down from 1 to 0.8. And this is how it looks. I'll also change the interpolation mode to nearest. And in here, what I want to do, I want to also add a time speed. So you can make a copy of it, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and just hold shift and drag it over the line so it's connected. But in here, I will change the speed to 0.9, so it's not the same. So we introduce even more things going on in our animation. So let me play it right now. This is how it looks. Okay, and finally what I added was a bit of glow. So again, click somewhere around here, open selection tool again, and search for glow, the default one, add. What I want to do, I want to merge it on top of my whole composition. So what you can do is just drag the output and connect it to the input of the glow, so the yellow triangle, and back to my merge node, which will create another merge, and we got glowy text. So as you see, if I disable this merge node in here, I disable the glow. Okay, so this is one thing. After the glow, what I added was a scan lines. So if you select the glow node, open selection tool again and search for scan lines. And as you see, we've added on top of the glow also the scan lines. You can further tune it, sharpness to something like that. You can play with it. And after the scan lines, I've added a duplicate node. In the copies, I set it to 3. And in the jitter tab, I switched the jitter mode to random, and I want to jitter the size. So let's set it to something 0.6. So this is how it looks so far. This is jittering and glowing all the time, but I want it only at the beginning of my animation. So to do that, I need to keyframe the blend parameter. So let's say at around, let me disable my merge node and see where exactly the animation is ended. It's somewhere around here, let's say on frame 30. So now I can create a keyframe here and set it to 0. And from the beginning, I want the animation to be started with the blend 1. So this is what we got. Let me enable back the merge number 4. So this is what we got. And you can of course spline it as well. So this time I want it to be out cubic. So this ramp. What is really fun with the glow, you can further customize the color scale. So if I add more red, you will see the beginning will start with this reddish animation. And the simplest way to end this animation is to play it in backwards. So to do that, after the merge node, add a dissolve node. In here, let me add a time speed node again, but I want this time speed to be playing the animation in reverse. So just insert -1 in the speed control, and you need to connect this merge 4 with my time speed. So if I preview it on the left, at the same time, this is how it behaves. So you need to connect it with the green input. And what the dissolve node is doing, it has a background foreground control. If it's set to foreground, you are playing the green input, and if it's set to background, it's playing the yellow input. So somewhere in the middle of our animation, we need to switch this background foreground control from background to foreground. And there are a couple of ways to do it. You can do it with the expression, you can keyframe it, but I'll do it with something that's called anim curves. So right click and modify with anim curves. That will enable my modifiers tab. In here, what you need to do is to change it to custom. So if you click somewhere on this line, that will create a key, and let's set it to 0.5, which is the middle of the animation. And we want the out to be 0. Then let's create another keyframe, also 0.5, and in here we wanted to have it as 1. So this is a very rectangle way of switching from 0 to 1, but this is exactly what we want. We want to switch this parameter right in the middle of the animation. So let's play the media out only and see how our dissolve node will behave. We got in, then as you see the foreground background will switch to 1, and we've been playing the animation backwards. This is exactly how we want the animation to behave. Okay guys, so this is how this animation was done. Hopefully you've learned something. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Also don't forget to check out my other title animations and tutorials. Cheers and see you in the next one.